What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Casual Big Ten podcast. Today is Friday, September 15th, 2023. My name is Kent Peterson. I'm joined, as always, on Fridays by Big Ten Wilson and Bet B1G Brad. He's back, and we are going to talk about the Week 3 gambling lines, the overs, the unders. Who's going to win? Who's going to cover? Who's going to lose? Brad, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing so good, dude. I'm doing so good. Wilson, are you hanging in there?
Great, man.
Hanging in there.
This is week 2 for you in a hotel. Week 2 in a hotel.
Work's keeping me busy. My second job's keeping me busy. Working hard out here.
Dude, I just appreciate you being here, showing up, and giving us your picks. I did want to mention really quickly before we get started. First of all, we're not professionals. You should not listen to any of our advice. And we are strictly here for entertainment purposes. And part of that entertainment this week is the crown that is attached firmly to the top of the frame on my end of the screen. I have once again won week 2. I went 13-7. Just barely nudging out Brad, who was 12-8, and Wilson, who was, what were you again? 11-9?
Something like that, yeah. Definitely third.
Are you guys getting a little bit nervous about the standings and how far ahead of you I'm getting so far?
Could not be less nervous about the standings and how far you're getting ahead of us.
Are you any further on putting any thought into what the winner, a.k.a. me, is going to receive at the end of the year?
Yep, custom championship belt.
Okay. I like it. Like we do at this time every week, we're going to go to our Twitter comments. Every week I put out the big board, which features all the lines and the over-unders. We ask for people to reply to that, and then we give a response to them. We got 13 replies today. We're going to try to zip through these as quickly as possible. We will start with Wilson this week. Wilson, we have a guy that has been here since week 1. His name is Isaiah Walker. I think this is his 3rd week in a row. Might have to nominate the belt in honor of his name for how much he's been contributing. But he says Indiana, Penn State, Minnesota, Purdue, Western Kentucky covers are all plays that I would back. How do you feel about Isaiah contributing to the pod once again and any of his picks that you like?
We need to start keeping track of how he does and see if he should sub me out for this show.
Oh,
but
wow.
I don't know. He could be good. Don't listen to anything I say. I haven't found my groove this season yet, so
let's just do it. Let's get what's his name? Let's get him on the line. Can we get him on the horn?
Let's get him on the horn.
Yeah, let's ring him up.
His name's Isaiah Walker.
Isaiah, call into the show. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
We got enough technical issues without adding a phone line to what we're trying to do.
All right.
Brad, Jackson's back. You remember Jackson? Train emoji, flag emoji, alligator emoji?
Yes, I sure do.
He said, love the old logos on the graphic that I put out. He was excited about that. He's the one that asked for it last week, and he loves them.
Perfect. You did it for him?
I did it just for him.
There you go. Ask and you shall receive. More comments. Kent's going to do anything you guys ask for, apparently.
That's true. All right, this one's a long one for Wilson. It's from Based AF Spectator. UVA plus 15.5 over 49. I'm just going to tell you what he took in all the games. Georgia Southern and the under. Louisville and the under. Penn State and the under. UNC and the over. Duke and the under. Rutgers and the under. Western Michigan and the under. Western Kentucky and the under. Washington and the under. NIU and the under. A lot of unders. Bowling Green and the over here. And then he put PU and the under.
Purdue.
Thoughts? I mean, he picked every single thing that we're picking. He picked it all.
That Northern Illinois one kind of threw me off. Wasn't expecting old Rocky Lombardi to cover that 10.5.
He's still playing football?
I'm pretty sure he's like in year 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Michael Penix.
That's
So
ridiculous.
is Ricky White. Do you remember that name?
Nope.
Went for 198 in the big house.
Don't remember that. I don't watch many Michigan games. Ginger with the sausage fingers is back again. We got some returning customers.
We got some repeaters.
He said IU in the points, PSU minus the points, and Western Michigan and the points. Brad, your thoughts?
I mean, without giving my own picks away, I love it. Yeah. Those are 3 solid choices.
This is his second week in a row now, coming back to the comments. I just appreciate everyone showing some love. I really appreciate that.
Let's open up the phone lines. I'm ready.
That's not going to happen, bro. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Jackson, train emoji, flag emoji, alligator emoji is back in the comments. This is insane. Wilson, Jackson said, Purdue by 3. I say we score on a last-second play like they did to us last year.
Ooh.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know shit about Syracuse other than they put it on Western last week, but they better cover that. Otherwise, they should get kicked out of the Big Ten. I'm going to say it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That bad, huh? They are pretty low. I got some pushback from them about my power rankings this week, too. So I'm not enough pushback that I'm not cheering for them. I am still cheering for them against Syracuse. All right, back to Brad. We got Mike Skintena. Is that how you pronounce that? That can't be right.
Mikey Skins. I can't see it, so I can't help you.
Okay.
He said names, bro.
He said Louisville minus 10.5, Penn State minus 14.5, Maryland over 49.5, Bowling Green plus 27.5, Michigan covering and the over. What do you hate about that one? Tell Mike what you don't like.
The last one, Michigan covering and the over.
I
don't like either one of those choices.
All right, we're going to go back to Wilson here. This is from 11 Verts. He said, I like Minnesota plus 7.5 and the under in that game. That's a physical team that can slow the game down. I might pick UNC straight up, but getting a TD plus here is pretty nice. I added the pretty part. He just said it's nice.
I do like the under in that game. I don't know about the Minnesota covering, though, but I think the under is the right call on that one, especially with the UNC App State game from last week. I think they were both in the 30s when last year I think they were both in like the 50s. So I think they're missing a little bit on that UNC offense.
I just wanted to say I appreciate 11 Verts for giving us a little breakdown instead of just a bunch of picks. That was helpful. Clinton Plumph.
Clint.
Oh, boy, Clint. I'm definitely saying these names wrong. It's Flum, I think. It's Pflum, Flum. Brad, he said Purdue is going to beat Syracuse outright, period.
Hey, it could happen.
No doubts. Back to Wilson. Gator says most of the Big Ten has great matchups. MSU versus Washington is the biggest one. UNC versus Minnesota, Indiana versus Louisville. It's going to be a great weekend of college football. No picks there, though. He's just excited about college football, I think.
I mean, he's not right, though. You got Bowling Green and Michigan with a 40-plus line. You got freaking Georgia, Southern, and Wisconsin. I mean, it's not really tickling me below the belt, so.
Wow.
What do they – you need 13 bangers for your belt to get tickled?
Yeah, are you writing these little zingers like during the week?
No, off the top.
Tickle me, but I've never even heard that before.
He's definitely never said it before. No doubt. All right, Brad, we're back to you. This is Joey Boatwater. He said he likes the points on a lot of the big spreads. Western Kentucky, Georgia Southern, Western Michigan, and even Northern Illinois. He said, I like Duke to cover the 18.5 versus Northwestern and probably Rutgers at home versus Virginia Tech, too, minus 6.5.
I can rock with that. I'm not going to, again, give away my picks, but I can rock with him liking the big spreads getting covered by the dogs.
I like that, too. Wilson, Ryan, this is at Spartan Ryan, says MSU covers.
Nope.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
Back to Brad. This is from fire emoji pointing emoji up, and it's at fire up 1. He says, with the new clock rules, Michigan will not cover.
It doesn't even matter about the clock. They haven't covered all year, and they're not going to cover this week on period.
Okay. We're back to Wilson. I think we got 2 more comments left. This is Rocket Haverland. He said, the Big Ten should force Michigan and OSU to play one serious non-con game a year.
Subscribe.
Love that.
He doesn't have a subscribe button on his thing. I'm not following him. I'm about to follow him live right now on the show.
When does Michigan first leave the state of Michigan on their schedule?
Get those follows up, baby.
When do they first leave? I'm not sure. I think they go to Nebraska in week 5.
Okay.
All right, Brad, last one. This is from Brad. Eban. Brad to Brad. Purdue/Cuse under. They played each other last year in a dome with a final score of 32-29, but 2 TDs were scored in the last minute, and it was only 10-9 after 3 quarters. Purdue defense struggled week 1, but was fantastic in week 2, only allowing 11 yards at Virginia Tech.
I might do a live switch right here. Let me see what I have in that game. I have Purdue. I already have Purdue in the under, so he's right, yeah.
Okay. I did a live switch on the show last week, and it worked out to my favor greatly. I think it was the Washington State game. Remember how confident that guy was?
Yeah, Spartan Lantern or something like that.
Spartan Lantern, yeah. And I'm glad I switched because that paid off for me.
That gave you the dub.
All right, let's jump into these games. We got 13 of them. We don't have a ton of time to talk about each one, so we're just going to jump right in. I have the wrong cheat sheet up, so I'm going to
Not great. Not great.
I'm going to pick up the right cheat sheet here, and I'm going to tell everybody that Maryland is hosting Virginia this week. They are favored by 14.5. The over-under is 49.5. We're going to send it over to Wilson. Your thoughts on this game?
I'm taking Maryland in the over. Virginia had a bad loss last week to old James Madison. No excuse for Maryland not to win and cover largely.
Brad, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I just learned about that today on this show, actually.
Thanks for listening. I appreciate you.
Listening, yeah. I was actually watching on YouTube, and I had no idea. So I had put Virginia, but I'm switching that up.
Okay.
I want Maryland to cover, and I'm going to go under still. I'm still going under.
I like that. I'm going to ride with Wilson on this, though. I'm going Maryland as well. Maryland also got off to a really bad start last week. I was talking about that on the show as well, but I think that they're going to jump all over Virginia here, and it's going to be ugly in this game. Let's go to the next one. This is one I'm pretty excited about. If you did listen to the show, then you could tell how excited I actually was. Wisconsin is hosting Georgia Southern. Wisconsin favored by 19.5. The over-under is 63.5 in a Wisconsin game. And, Brad, what is your thoughts, first of all, about that line, and then what'd you pick here?
I did. I listened to you again on this. I know that Georgia Southern is apparently the giant killer, but I'm riding with Wisconsin to get back on track this week. I think they got to make some things happen. I think it's got to be this week that it does. I'm going Wisconsin minus 19.5. I'm going under on the points.
Can't say that I didn't give you all the information that you needed. Wilson, what do you got here on this game?
I've got the exact same as Brad. I got Wisconsin covering the 19.5. I think they'll win by 20, 21 points. It'll be close. Also got the under 63.5.
How did Vegas come up with this over under?
I have no clue. This is ridiculous. We all three are going to take the under here. I'm also riding with you guys on that. No shot this goes over, in my opinion. I think and it's not even just because it's Wisconsin either. I think it's more because this is going to be a closer game than people are expecting, in my opinion. I think Georgia Southern's going to give them some troubles. I think that they're going to be able to slow them down offensively, and I am taking Georgia Southern with those 19.5 points. That's a lot of that's almost 3 touchdowns, god damn it. That's a lot of points. I'm taking the 19.5. I'm going to roll with it. All right, we're churning right along here. We got Louisville coming to Indiana. Jeff Fromm from Purdue is back into the Big Ten stratosphere, whether you like it or not. I don't. But he's coming back anyways. He's got Louisville, very high-scoring, potent offense. And Indiana is catching 10.5 here. The over-under is 53. I'll go first on this one. I don't think Indiana's that good. I think that their defense has been a bit of some smoke and mirrors situations, with Ohio State not being really ready that first game. And then Indiana State last week is just trash to begin with. So I think Louisville's going to come put a crooked number on them, and I think they cover, and I think it's going over. I think Louisville's going to score close to 40, and Indiana will maybe get a couple touchdowns to hit that over for me. Let's swing it over to, I think it's Wilson's turn. What do you got right here?
Yeah, I'm going to call an audible. I'm going to ride with you and switch it up. I had IU. I'm going with Louisville to cover, but I'm keeping the under. A little strategic for me to see if I can catch 2 points on this one over you guys.
Well, you can't catch 2 on me because I also have Louisville.
And Brad also has the under, spoiler alert, but, trying to get that 2-1.
Pick away, bro.
I said spoiler alert.
Okay, that's
Listen,
fair.
man,
I'm sure everyone that heard spoiler alert rewound their brain and didn't hear what you said before that. Go ahead, Brad. What do you got here?
Well, I'm not getting tickled below my belt or whatever the saying is. I can tell you that. There's 4 teams in the Big Ten that have covered the spread first couple weeks. One of those teams is Indiana. I'm riding with them until they don't. So I'm going to go ahead and take those 10 in the hook at home with the Hoosiers. They got those new suites down low. I can't wait to go ahead and get one of those. What are they, like $10? $10 a suite?
No, come on, man. Don't disrespect the Hoosiers like that.
I'm taking the Hoosiers, man. I'm taking the Hoosiers, and I'm going spoiler alert under.
Wait, hold on. Did you say there's only 4 teams in the Big Ten that have covered either of their games?
Both of their games.
Oh, both their games. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I was about to say that's a ridiculous stat. All right, moving on. Something that tickles me below my belt is Penn State's offense. I get tickled every week I see them. They are favored by 14.5 against a team that I'm kind of just up against at this point, Illinois. There's no doubt in my mind that Penn State's going to win this game, but by how much? 48.5 is the over-under, Brad. What's going to happen here? How much are they going to win by? Because they're going to win.
Yeah, I lost all faith in Illinois after last week, so I can't roll with them. Penn State is a much better team. I know last year was that last year the 9 overtime game?
Was that?
Or a couple years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, so sure. I know Illinois kind of has their number a little bit, but this Penn State team is different this year. I got them covering, and I'm going to take the over. I think Penn State's they put 63 on whatever, Southwest
Delaware,
Indiana University, Purdue, Fort Wayne. But I think they're too much for them. I got Penn State putting up a ton of points, and I'm going to take the over.
Big Willie style. What do you think?
I'm also going with Pennsylvania State University to cover, but I'm going with the under. I think Illinois will find their defense a little bit, but it'll be close. I just think their offense is ass, unfortunately. I'm off on the line this season.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm taking Penn State to cover as well. I talked about on the Kickstart show that this might be the week. Maybe it took 2 weeks for Illinois' defense to find themselves, but I have no evidence that that's going to happen whatsoever. So I'm going to take Penn State to cover. I'm also going to go with the over. I think that Penn State could score a lot in this game. And honestly, I think Illinois can score quickly when they actually do score, because Altmaier's trying to get out of the pocket and he's making big throws. So if Illinois scores, it's going to be quick strikes, and it's going to have to be because they're going to be behind majorly. So that's why I'm taking the over in that game for those couple of reasons. All right. This is the game, in my opinion. I know I'm going against one of our friendly commenters that said that Michigan State and Washington was the game of the week. For me, it's this one. It's Minnesota. It's UNC. Minnesota's going on the road. They're playing a top 25 team. Everybody's heard about Drake May, everything that he was doing going into the season. Heisman hopeful, but started out a little bit slow. North Carolina is favored by a touchdown plus a half a point, and the over-under is 49 plus a half a point. Wilson, what happens in this game?
I'm taking North Carolina to cover the 7.5. I think they'll win, by like 10-13. I don't think Minnesota has the offense to keep up with them, but I also don't think UNC has that potent of an offense this year compared to last. So I'm going to under 49.5.
Brad, what do you got here?
This is an interesting one for me. The 7.5 has me pause a little bit, but I'm taking North Carolina to cover. I think Drake has a big game this week. I'm just not sold on Minnesota. They kind of stole one week 1 versus Nebraska. That didn't cover against Eastern last week. I didn't see much of that game, but I think North Carolina might be too much for them. Points-wise, I'm going under. I think it's going to be lower scoring.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys on the under. I'm taking that. I'm picking Minnesota, though. I'm just doing it because Minnesota has grinded out both of their games, and the defense has been serviceable. It's been good. It's been better than what I expected going into the season. And like Wilson said, UNC's offense is a little bit less good than we thought going into the season, maybe. So kind of a little worlds collide situation there, and maybe Minnesota can hold them and keep it within a touchdown. But in my heart of hearts, I do think North Carolina is still going to win the game, maybe by a field goal. Did you have something there, Wilson?
I was going to ask you if you thought Minnesota had a chance money line, but you answered it without asking.
Gotcha. I mean, I think they have a chance. Can't say someone's going to be within a touchdown. They don't have a chance money line, but it's just going to be a tough environment. It's tough to go on the road. Minnesota hasn't been on the road yet. They got to go on the road and try to win this one. All right. Moving on. Haven't really mentioned this yet, but we have a lot of ACC versus Big Ten matchups, and this is another one right here. Northwestern, the Wildcats, they're rolling. Coming off their first win in over a year, and they're rolling right down to, where's Duke? Durham, North Carolina? And they're taking on the Blue Devils. I almost forgot everything about Duke as I was talking in my head. Like, where are they from and what's their mascot? They're taking on the Blue Devils, though. Duke is favored by 18.5. The over-under is 48.5. I want to remind you guys that we watched Duke's first game, and we were all three pretty impressed with their quarterback, whose name is escaping me right now. I mentioned it on the Kickstart episode. I think we're going back to Brad here. What's going to happen in this game for the Cats?
Oh, man, this is another tough one.
It's a lot of points, man. That's what makes it tough.
It is. It's a lot of points. And Northwestern has shown 2 completely different games, which also makes it hard.
Well, they were playing against 2 pretty completely different opponents as well, though.
I guess so. Clemson
nerfed it.
Yeah, they imploded. I've never seen a football team do that before, except Michigan State one time against Rutgers, I think had like 7 turnovers. So that I can't really.
First game.
All right, I can't interrupt me one more time, man. I'm about to cut this show off. Spoiler alert, we're done. I'm just babbling about nothing. I don't even have anything to say. I'm just like trying to make this long.
Well, what'd you pick?
I'm taking Northwestern. I think 18.5 is just too much. I'm still not like on the Duke train yet. And I'm going to go over, though, to mix it up.
Okay, Wilson, what do you...
Both teams are going to score.
Sorry. Go ahead. Wilson, what do you got here?
I got Duke in the under. Felt good, happy for Northwestern to get that dub, but what was funny about that?
It's just the way you said it. You were like, I got Duke in the under. So like you just were mad that you had to do it. Are you that big of a Northwestern fan?
No, it's just when you threw it to me, I thought, didn't I already say my pick? But then I was like, nah, I forgot. I was losing. I caught some of your Alzheimer's disease over the interwaves. You were forgetting stuff. I started forgetting stuff. Yeah. My bad, y'all.
It's all good. It's all good. Oh, by the way, that kid's
All
name
good.
was Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard was the quarterback's name for Duke. And also, this game is going to be a toughie to watch because it's on ACC Network. Did you guys know that?
Nope.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's.
I'm pretty sure I'd get that.
That's going to suck. All right, let's see. Get back cheat sheet back here. We're going over to Rutgers, another ACC team. Virginia Tech, another bad ACC team, I'm going to call them. We already talked about, well, we really haven't talked about bad ones yet. Is Louisville in the ACC?
Yes.
Okay. So every ACC team we've talked about so far is favored up until this point. Virginia Tech is coming to Rutgers. Rutgers is actually rolling right now. If you've been watching them, they are the hottest team in the bottom of the Big Ten West, or East, I mean. Sorry, I was trying to adjust Wilson's camera here. Rutgers favored by 6.5. The over-under is 39. I'll go first, 39.5. I'm taking Rutgers. I think that they're going to win. Virginia Tech, it's simple. Lost to Purdue at home last week, and I think Rutgers is better than Purdue. I said it on the show before. And then I'm going to take the over. I think Gavin Wimsatt by himself could score 40 points in this game if he really wanted to. So I will take the over 39.5, and I will swing it back over to Wilson. What's going to happen with Rutgers?
I'm also taking Rutgers minus 6.5 in the over. Over 39.5 is real low. They got to do it. Who did Virginia Tech lose to? They lost to some bad team also. Do you remember?
They lost to they beat Old Dominion.
Oh, they did.
And then they lost to Purdue is the bad team you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, taking Rutgers in the over.
Brad, what are you thinking on this?
Yeah, let's go 3 for 3 on this. I'm taking Rutgers and the over. Oh, yeah, baby.
Wait, did you have anything else on that or no?
No. Rutgers is also 2-0 against the spread.
Hey,
and I didn't think that they were going to hit the over last week, and they did, so I'm rolling over.
All right. Moving right along here. I forgot to switch the slide for that last one, but that's okay. We're going down to Iowa. Western Michigan University is coming to town. We were talking about the Wisconsin over-under. This has to be the most ridiculous line I've ever seen in the history of sports betting. Iowa is favored by more points than they have scored in either game this year. 28.5 against Western Michigan. Over-under is 42.5. I want to say that Western Michigan did lose to Syracuse. I believe it was 49-7, so they are a bottom-barrel MAC team, even though a lot of people think that the MAC is good this year based on my replies on Twitter. Let's go over to Brad. What's going to happen? I mean, we all know this is kind of dumb to even talk about. We know what we're doing here, right?
Yeah, I know we're not professionals, but to be able to beat the spread, they have to win by more than 28 points.
29.
Right?
29. They got to score 29.
And to do that, they have to score 29 points, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And then the other team can't score any in that scenario.
Right. Yeah. Look, Iowa's going to Iowa, and it's ridiculous. I think we might have been giving Cade more credit than he deserved at this point. Now, he could turn it around, but has he made a difference the first couple weeks?
Oh. Wilson, has he made a difference?
I don't know.
I don't know, he says.
Well, TBD.
Brad, let's make this official, though. What are you picking, though, just to make sure?
Yeah. I'm picking Western I'll take them with 21 points. You don't have to give me the whole 28.5. and the under, what is it? 40 something?
42.
Give me drugs. Under.
All right, Wilson. What are you thinking here, man? Is this the week that Iowa hits the 30-point mark?
I do, but I think Western scores 7.
You think it's going to be 30 to
That's all I
7?
have to say about that. I got Western in the under. I will keep that 28.5 though, and not knock it down to 21 like Brad is. So
I'm not actually taking that. I was just being facetious.
You could move the line down though if you wanted to. DraftKings has a new line slider. Barstool was the first place I ever saw that, but DraftKings just added it now. They have a line slider. So you could.
I might bet it in real life. I'm just talking about for this show. I'm taking the 28.5.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. On the show,
okay.
yeah.
I just
Obviously,
want to make sure.
Yeah.
Not trying to take a win away from me.
Yeah, for me, there's no reason to even discuss this. It's Western Michigan in the under. All right, Ohio State is playing Western Kentucky. They are favored by 27.5, and the over/under is this the highest one of the weekend? It is 64.5. I think we're going back to Wilson. What do you think in this Ohio State game against the Hilltoppers?
I'm going to do another switch up. I'm taking Western Kentucky in the 27.5, but I'm keeping the over. I think it'll be in the low 30s. It'll be maybe a 10-point game. I don't know if Ohio State has the offense this year to, just wipe teams out with these large spreads and high over-unders. I just don't think they got it.
Wait,
you're taking the over?
But if they don't have the offense, why are you taking the over then?
The over. It's going to be like 38-32 or some shit like that.
Okay. All right, Brad, what are you thinking here? Are you riding with Wilson?
There's not a fence in front of my face, so you can see the whole thing, right? Ohio State is going to let Western Kentucky score 30 points?
They could.
Damn, dude. That could be.
There's a non-zero chance.
That would be amazing. But no, I am not rolling with Wilson on this. I think this is the week that Ohio State gets it back together and they do cover. I know they haven't covered the first couple weeks. I got them covering this week, so I'm gonna take Ohio State, laying down the 27.5, and I'm going under. 64.5 is too big number. I don't care who you're playing; it's too big of a number for me.
I'm just looking up Western Kentucky's first 2 games. Oh, Wilson might be on to something here. They played South Florida and scored 41. They won that game, 41-24. And then they beat, I think this is Holy Cross. It says HCU with a dog logo next to it. Let me just make sure who this is. Houston Christian. Never mind, that doesn't count. But they scored 52 in that game. So they are averaging about 45 points a game, Brad. You're telling me that they can't score 30 against Ohio State now? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
I might have to go with Willie on this. I might have to do a switcheroo. I haven't switched anything.
Do it.
All right. I do think that Ohio
State...
I do think Ohio State's going to cover though. I'm going to split my friendship right now. I'm going to say that I do think this is the week that Ohio State comes back offensively and they score a lot of points and they cover the spread. But they're going to have to score so much because this is going over. Western Kentucky's going to score about 20. 18 maybe. I'll say they score almost 3 touchdowns. I'm switching. I'm going with Wilson. He was convincing. And now that I looked at the scores as well, so. All right, moving right along. We got 3 more games. This is the game that a lot of people are talking about for the wrong reasons. We got Washington coming to Michigan State. I'm not sure. What is Washington ranked right now? They're top 10, right?
Like 8. Yeah.
Okay. So top 10 team coming into East Lansing. This is just such this line, this was actually the hardest line for me to pick. 16.5 Washington is favored by on the road. Over-unders 57.5. Brad, what happens in this game?
I don't know.
Well, we're
I'm gonna say
asking you
this.
because we want to know what's going to happen betting wise.
All right, I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
Michigan State has a better chance to win today than they did on last Saturday night. They're going to have a better chance to win now since things have happened.
Okay. But are you
16
accounting for the opponent that they're playing though?
I am, yeah. We Washington is pretty much the same team as they were last year. We played them last year at Washington. So we have that. Michael Penix is going to do his thing. I saw some stat today that said their leading rusher has 12 attempts. They throw the ball 90% of the time. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Our secondary still isn't strong, Michigan State, but it is improved. I'm a little worried that Jacoby Windman is not going to play this game because he had a pectoral injury that we don't know about. That would be a big loss. But our defensive line is much better than it was last year. If they can get to Penix and cause some issues and our secondary can hold up, I don't like us to win this game. But 16.5 at Spartan Stadium?
Okay.
I got it 35-24 Washington. So I'm taking Spartans and I think the over.
Yep. You have the over there. Wilson, is Brad right about this? Is there any way Washington can come in and win by 17 points in this game?
Yes, I think they will. I think they'll cover as well as go the over. Honestly, this game comes down to the first two possessions for each team. I think if Washington comes out and scores, Michigan State's, they've gone 3-and-out. I think their first three series every game they played so far this year. We fall down 14-0 right off the bat. We can't get Carter back in doing this thing. Makes us one-dimensional, and it'll deflate the fan base, which I think will be supportive and loud to start the game. But I think a 14-0 start will just crush it. And so I got Washington to cover and over.
I'm with you on the Washington part. I think that this is going to be I've liked what I've seen out of the defense, especially compared to last year out of Michigan State. So I'm going to say that it's going to be a little bit more of a slugfest, and 57 points is a lot still. So I'm taking Washington to cover the 16.5. And I don't know much about Washington's defense, but if they can stop the run a little bit, I think that they're going to be okay holding Michigan State to a low number. So I took the under in this one.
Real quick, there was a stat I think I saw that Washington was number 2 in the country in terms of yards per play. They're at 9.2 yards per play, and USC was at 9.3. So I think Michigan State's young secondary could be in trouble.
That's a big number for yards per play. I didn't know that they went that high. All right, let's move on to the next game. We have Nebraska, Northern Illinois coming to Nebraska, and Nebraska is at home for the first time, by the way. This is their first home game. Should be a lot of fan support. If it was a volleyball game, it definitely would be. They are favored by 10.5 in this game. Over under is 43.5. I'll go first on this one because I haven't gone first in a while. I'm taking Nebraska in this game as long as they don't turn it over. And I know we've been saying that for a week now because we didn't know that was going to happen in the first week. But we knew it could come last week, and it came. It came just like we thought it was going to come. And I just hope it doesn't come again. I hope Jeff Sims can hold on to the ball just a little bit better, and they run the ball a little bit. It's Northern Illinois. I think that this is going to be Nebraska all over them and the over. Wilson, what do you think about this game?
I got Nebraska in the under. Seemed to me that the last game against Colorado was a little bit worrisome because it was like a Scott Frost Nebraska team. They had their opportunity to, kind of stay in the game early or take an early lead, and they just kept doing stupid shit like fumble and all that stuff. So I could see this being the one where Sims actually gets pulled, but I still think they cover the 10.5. But I don't think they go above 43.5.
All right. Brad, are you with him on that?
I am actually. I don't know if I'm with like exactly how he explained it, but I have Nebraska covering in the under. I think Nebraska gets it together this week. They're back at home for the first time. This is their home opener. I think the fans are going to come out. Nebraska fans are always supportive no matter what. I think they get it together. They have a big game. The defense has been playing good. They just got put in some bad situations last week in the Colorado game, and eventually they broke. But if they can hold the turnovers down, like you said, I think they can cover. I do have the under, though. I don't think either team is going to score a lot of points. I think they're going to keep it low.
Keep it low. Keep it low. I'm the only one with the over in that game. I want a lot of points in that one. You're right, though, about their defense. I think that they're going to lock Northern Illinois in a steel case, and they're going to throw the key away. All right, Michigan versus Bowling Green. We're going right back to Brad. Brad, it's 40.5. Once again, Michigan with the largest spread of the weekend. Over-under is 52.5, so they're expecting Bowling Green to maybe score 10 points here. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
Well, first of all, I can't wait to see JJ's free tuck shirt because I know he has a thing for coaches that are suspended. So I'm excited for that. I think that'll be really tasteful of him. Michigan has not covered in week 1. Michigan did not cover in week 2. They didn't hit the over in week 1. They did not hit the over in week 2.
Okay, Dr.
One
Seuss.
fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Until I see different, this is a bigger number, 40.5. Get out of here. I'm taking Bowling Green, and I'm taking the under.
All right. That's a good pick based on the history of the 2 weeks that have happened. Wilson, what do you think?
Bowling Green in the under. Wish Michigan would stop being cowards and play someone in the preseason.
Like the guy. Oh, wait. I forgot to read that comment. Or did I? No, I did read that comment.
You did.
Didn't I?
Subscribe.
That's what you said. Okay. I'm going the complete opposite. I am taking Michigan to cover, and I'm taking the over. And the reason why is because in week 1, I took Michigan to cover and the over, and I won. In week 2, I took Michigan to cover and the over, and I won. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Until I stop being successful, I'm going to keep taking Michigan and the over every single week. All right, our last game is looking like Brad can't hear us right now. Brad, can you hear us or no?
No, I can, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Last game, Syracuse is coming to Ross-Ade Stadium against Purdue. This is probably, to me, the second easiest line for me to pick. It was Syracuse minus 2.5 for some reason. And then the over-under 58.5. Wilson, do the Boilermakers cover this 2.5?
I do think they cover the 2.5. I think they went outright. But I don't think the 58.5 goes over. So I'm taking Purdue in the under. Congratulations, you nerds.
Why do you hate Purdue? Why? Tell me why you hate Purdue so much, real quick, in a clean version.
So I have worked with several people who have graduated from Purdue, and they are all the type that wear the short sleeve dress shirt, the Dilbert style. They're just a bunch of dorks and just very. So a certain school in Ann Arbor is known for being arrogant. These guys are arrogant and ugly as shit. So sorry, I have some bias towards Purdue.
Brad, does your bias live deep within your heart like it does with Wilson when it comes to Purdue? And also, if you could give us a pick for this game as well.
I don't really care about – whatever. I'm taking Purdue in the under. That's all.
Thanks for keeping the momentum of the show just completely going, buddy. I really
That's
appreciate
all,
that. Wilson tells this heartwarming story. Not really heartwarming, but this whole story that is close to his heart. And then you say you just don't care, man. What is that?
He said
Tim Allen would never do that to Wilson.
He hated a whole university because they wear short sleeves and they're ugly.
That's valid, dude.
Nerd. I hate them all.
I think that's a valid reason. All right, I'm going to wrap it up too. I'm also taking Purdue in the under. That's a 3 for 3 on the Purdue in the under for us. We should definitely put that parlay in. That's it though, and that also wraps up our show. Week 3 in the books. The crown is on my head. It's not leaving until ever. By the way, we're doing that's just a weekly crown, right? It's not going to be the overall record crown. That's weekly. Like whoever won last week. Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
that is
Perfect.
correct.
Perfect. All right, we'll have that going. Brad, any parting thoughts?
Nope.
As usual, Wilson, your parting thoughts.
Fade me. Don't follow me.
That's a good advice. Thanks everybody for watching, listening, subscribe on YouTube, and make sure you're following along on Twitter. Big Board comes out every Wednesday. We'd love to read your replies live on the show. We'll see you guys in the future.